Loanado, welcome to lesson Tao of how to speak Cornish for absolute beginners. Okay, I'm going to break this new lesson down into three parts. Okay, three parts. Okay, Kinsa, first I'm going to teach you how to say good and bad in Cornish. Okay, Nessa, second, I'm going to teach you how to say I can speak Cornish now. Okay, going to be great for boasting to all your family and friends about your newfound skill. Okay, third, or Tressa, I'm going to teach you how to be affectionate in Kernewek, okay, in Cornish. And it will be a little bit more complicated. There's be a few rules and stuff at the end, but it shouldn't be too bad. I believe in you. Okay, so first, okay, Kinsa, we're going to teach you how to say the word good, okay? The word for good in Cornish is da, okay? Da, okay? So it's good, da, yeah, that's good, yeah, da, okay? Very, very simple, very, very simple. Now we need to think of the antithesis of good, which is, of course, bad, okay? So bad. The word for bad in Cornish is drog, okay? Drog. So I've been dragged through a bog. Oh, God, it's awful. Drog. Yes, I'm all covered in slime and filth and everything else, okay? Drog, okay? So we've got good, da, and bad. Drog. Now, if you think back to the first lesson, I taught you how to say and, okay, in Cornish, which is, of course, yep, you're right. Of course you're right, even though I can't see any of you, but here we go. So it's ha, okay. So da ha drog, okay? Good and bad. Da ha drog, okay? Good and bad. Incidentally, when we get to drog, the Cornish word or way to say I am sorry is drogugenev. Drogugenev. That means I am sorry, or it literally means bad is with me. Okay, it's my fault. Okay, I'm sorry. Drogugenev. Yeah. Okay. So there's a little bonus bit for you. But good and bad is da ha drog. Okay. Very simple stuff, but incredibly useful. You can use that for, to tell anyone how you feel about any particular item, and you can use that in your day-to-day language as well. Just replace good and bad with da or drog, depending on the circumstance. Okay, very simple stuff. So that's the first bit of the lesson. Nessa, so the second bit. Okay, so now I'm going to teach you the very useful, boastful phrase of your newfound language, which is I can speak Cornish now. So we're going to start with the first bit of that sentence, which is, of course, I can. Okay, I can. In fact, you are so positive, such a positive affirmation, the words I can, that it's going to make you ill. It's going to make you sick, okay? Because the Cornish word for I can, mea ill, okay? Mea ill, okay? But it sounds like I'm ill, okay? Mea ill. I'm so positive, I'm ill, okay? Mea ill, okay? Mea ill, okay? All right, okay. So Cornish word for I can is mea ill. Mea ill. I'm so positive. I am sick. I am ill. Mea ill. Okay. I think you've got that one down. Okay. The next word, of course, is speak. In the first lesson, I think I taught you how to say leverel, which was say, okay? And if you say lots of times back and forth, that is, of course, speaking, okay? And the Cornish word for speaking, or somewhere where lots of leverel happens, is Cornwall County Council. Or in this case, Cornwall County Council. That's how you remember it. That's how I remember it anyway. So we go for, sounds like council, but it's council, okay? Where lots of talking goes on at Cornwall County Council, okay? Or council, but council, okay? So we put those two together. You could say, well, mea ill, okay? I'm so positive I'm sick. Mea ill council. I can speak. Mea ill council, okay? Very, very cool. Okay. Da. Good. Okay. So we got I can speak. Okay. So the Cornish word for Cornish, which you probably heard me say a few times already, is of course Kernewek. Okay. Kernewek. I knew it. It was Kernewek. I knew it. It was Kernewek. Cornish for Cornish, the Cornish for Cornish, I knew it, it was Kernewek. Okay, Kernewek, I knew it, Kernewek. So we put all three of those things together. Mea il, Cowsel, Kernewek. Okay, I can speak Cornish. Mea il, Cornwall County Cowsel. I knew it, it was Kernewek. Okay, Mea il, Cowsel, Kernewek. I can speak Cornish. One more word that's very important because we want it to be imminent, declaration of your newfound cognitive abilities. And of course, that last word is now. Okay, now. Okay, so the Cornish word for now sounds like a universally known yellow sour fruit, which makes a very popular fizzy drink, which is, of course, lemon. Okay, but whereas the fruit is lemon, okay, in Kernewek it's lemon, okay, lemon. It's not lemon, it's lemon, okay. Now, lemon, okay, lemon. So we put all of those together. So we're going to do, I can, mea il, okay, mea il, oh yeah, da, yeah, mea il, I can, okay. Speak, Cornwall County Cowsel, yeah, Cowsel. Mea il, Cowsel, I can speak. Cornish, Kernewek, I knew it, it was Kernewek. And then lemon, okay, lemon, now, lemon, okay. I can speak Cornish now, then the whole thing should be Mea il, Cowsel, Kernewek, lemon. I can speak Cornish now, okay. What a wonderful statement. And you can use that to impress everyone you know. Yeah, okay. Mea il, Cowsel, Kernewek, lemon. I can speak Cornish now. What a wonderful statement. Okay. So we're going to move on to the Tressa, or third segment. It's going to get a little bit more complicated, hopefully not too much. Now you can speak Cornish, of course. So we're going to learn how to be affectionate in Kernewek. So a good segue for this. Okay, so we know the word for now, which is lemon. Okay, now the word for woman rhymes with lemon and is bennen. Okay, bennen. Now, very useful way to remember this, but very dangerous also is, of course, that now rhymes with woman. So you could say lemon bennen. Oh, Drogelgenev. Yeah, now woman, okay, lemon bennen, okay, don't say it because you will end up with a black eye, but it's a very, it's funny, so it's good to remember, okay. So yeah, all jokes aside, the Cornish word for woman is bennen, okay, bennen, okay. So we're going to get a little bit more complicated now. So I got bennen, and I'm going to teach you how to be affectionate. So I'm going to say, you are a good woman, okay, but I'm going to keep it as a good woman you are, okay, because it's closer to the syntax of the Kernewek. So you want to be nice to your partner, you say, you can say, good woman you are, you know, okay. So I'm not sure I covered this in the first lesson, or I can't remember, but I'll just go over it again because it's important. Okay, so in English, you would say you would build up to the articles of what you are talking, what you're eventually going to reveal. So you would say a big black dog. Okay, so you would do the descriptive words, and then eventually you would arrive at what you were describing. In Kernewek, it's basically in reverse. So you would say, again, we don't say a in Kernewek because there's no need to put it on a pedestal. It just simply is. So you would say dog, big black, effectively in Kernewek. Instead of saying a big black dog, you would say dog, big black. Okay, so that would be key brass do. Okay, so it would obviously, it happens in real time. It's not dramatic when you use it in a normal sentence, like a big black dog or dog big black. Okay, so it would be the reverse. There's plenty of other languages which use this sort of syntax structure, but I think that's very important to point out now. So to use our affectionate phrase of a good woman you are, we're going to say woman good you are. That's effectively the order that it will be in. So Going to say bennen, okay, which is woman, okay, bennen, yeah, lemon bennen, ooh, no, bennen, okay, bennen, and at the beginning, if you remember, the word for good was, yeah, you got it, or I presume you've got it, it was da, okay. But as I mentioned in the first lesson, there is mutation. I think it is in every Celtic language, but I certainly know it's in Kernewek. Because benin is a female word, of course, doesn't get much more feminine than woman itself, the word for good, da, is going to soften slightly because, if you think like feminine, soft and nice, so it's going to change, it's going to mutate from da to tha, okay, tha, okay. So woman good, or good woman, a good woman would be benin tha, instead of da, tha. Now I'm going to write this on the screen somewhere so you can see it. As the eagle-eyed viewer might have seen, the spelling does not look like the sound. Okay, this is something that took me a while to get my head round as I came into Kernewek sort of blind, and looking at it written down without knowing this rule put me into a lot of trouble with pronunciation. So I'll go over this very briefly. So I'm going to use the word red as example. If you look at the way it's spelt, R-U-D-H, okay. From a sort of anglicized perspective, I would have pronounced, I did pronounce that rude, okay, rude, because of the D-H sound at the end. But in Kernewek, every time you see D-H written down, it is not du sound, it's th, okay. So if you think, every time you see D-H, think th. Let's think of it as TH, basically. So the word in Kernewek for red is Ruth, okay? So if you think of the popular town pretty much right in the middle of Kerno is Red Ruth, okay? So that's Red Ruth, okay? But it's not Ruth, it's Ruth, okay? So similarly, the benin tha is not benin da, it's benin tha, okay? DH, tha, the. Okay, so I just wanted to point that out for anyone who wants to go on and learn a bit more Kernewek. And I suggest you do, because it's a wonderful, beautiful language. Okay, so we're going to say, woman good you are, okay, which is simply benin tha osta, okay, benin tha osta, good woman you are, benin tha osta. Now, I realise after we've got this wonderful affectionate phrase out that there may indeed be Benin watching this video right now, and in which case you're going to need the counterpart, okay, which of course is den, okay, den, okay. So it's the word for man in Cornish is den, okay. Instantly as well, your teeth are little men, okay. In the Kernewek language, it's got loads of lovely little Kirks, I say dens, okay, dens, yeah. But the word for man is den, okay. So we're going to say, man good you are, if you are a Benin and you wish to say it to your male counterpart, okay. So I'm going to say den da, okay. So notice how the word for good doesn't soften, because obviously den is a masculine word, okay, so it stays good and hard, okay, like every good man should be, okay. Den da osta, okay, den da osta, a good man you are, den da osta. So we got a good woman, which is benin tha osta, or a good man you are. Okay, so as we got den da osta, okay, benin tha osta, ha den da osta. Okay, well, I think that just about concludes this lesson. Let's have a quick recap, shall we? So we had da, had drog, okay, so we had good and bad to start with. Then we had to say, I can speak Cornish now, which is of course mea il, Cowsel, Kernewek lemon. Mea il, Cowsel, Kernewek lemon. I can speak Cornish now. And then finally we had the affectionate terms. So we had benin tha osta and Teenda, osta. So you can use all of those new phrases in your daily life, hopefully. That's the idea of these lessons, to sort of pique your interest, get you more interested in learning a good old bit of Kernewek. Yes, just before I finish, I'll do a little plug for myself. I've written a Cornish colouring book for children. The idea is that you open it up with your child. They do the colouring in. The Kernewek is there in front of you, so you learn it and speak it with your child. These are phrases which I've used regularly with my daughter as I've been learning the language and teaching her as she's grown up. So hopefully they'll be useful for your family as well. If the postage is too much on the website, why not pick up a copy of my children's novel written in English, which is At the Bottom of the Green Garden and Beyond. Perfect for a bedtime story and whatnot. Right, I think that's the end of the self-promotion. All that remains to be said is thank you and goodbye. So, muras ha diugeno.